Hi, I'm Matt with Crowwing FPV, and today we are going to talk about simulators. Now, simulators are a very, very fun and enjoyable, relaxing tool. And the best part of it is most of them that are out there are actually free or very, very low cost. I admittedly don't fly simulators as much as I should. And I'm trying to rectify that. I've been working on that myself, and it has improved my flying quite a bit. Just from sitting here for, let's say, a half an hour a day just playing on a simulator. One thing that you do want to make sure that you do, a couple too many do's in there, but anyway, what I'm trying to say is the one key element to a simulator, an FPV simulator, is you need to use an actual radio. That doesn't mean that you can't play it, you know, because if you don't have a radio, but it's not going to do anything for you in real life by flying in a FPV simulator without using this. And the reason why is because if you're using a keyboard or mouse, or you're using a gamepad, you're not going to gain the muscle memory that is required when you're flying. So if you're new and you don't have a radio yet, there are some really good options out there. And the one that I use, and I use it for everything, is the Jumper T-Lite. It's inexpensive, it's lightweight, it has the same profile as like a game controller, and it's expandable. It'll connect to anything that's out there. If you buy something on Crossfire, you can buy the Crossfire module, or Ghost. Here's Ghost module, Express LRS, even just the regular XM. You don't even have to have a module on there to connect to FreeSky's XM Plus. It's built into the controller. All right, so that's out of the way. Another cool thing is you can actually hook up your goggles with an HDMI to them, and you can fly it like you're actually there. You can kind of immerse yourself into the simulator. I don't really do that because I'm just more interested in getting the muscle memory and the control with the physics in the game for real life. So, with that being said, why don't we hop on to one of these simulators, or all of these simulators, and see which one you like. I'll give you my opinions, and you make a choice from that. I'm not going to say which one is better, which one's terrible, unless it's actually really terrible. Then, of course, I'm going to say it's, well, terrible. But for the most part, the ones that I fly are actually pretty good, and I enjoy all of them. So, here we go. Alright, this is Orqa FPV Skydive, available on Steam. Gonna just jump in here and check it out. Now, in the past, I was not able to play this, but with the new update, looks like 1.4 or 1.04, yeah, 1.04, I actually can play it now. And this is on a Mac Mini M1 with 8 gigs of memory, and I'm using a Jumper T-Lite controller for this, for transmitter for this. So, let's get in here and play it. I played it for, as you can see, 15 minutes. I didn't play it for very long. And we're going to go check it out and see how she plays. Alright, so you first get in here and let's see. One thing I noticed is there's not a whole lot of options in this. You go into choose map and you got a couple maps to choose from, and that's about it. See, abandoned factory, Red Valley, construction area, and just a plain old race polygon. I've played these two right here. I haven't played any of the other ones yet. Let's see. It said escape. Go to the next one. See, joystick calibration is pretty easy. You can choose your throttle. You can choose all your settings like you can in other games. The joystick calibration is pretty basic and pretty normal. So let's go ahead and click on this here. So center of the sticks. There we go. Just gonna do this. Center of the sticks. And there we go. We're all set. And I'm going to hit the escape key here. And then under settings, you have, you know, just as you see here, drone. You can't choose a different drone. There's only just one drone in here, but you can choose your different flight modes, your field of view, camera angles, really. So that's the only settings you really have for the drone, is acro and the camera. You can go in and change up your rates. So you can kind of customize this and play around with these. I'm just going to leave them just how they are. And let's see, let's choose a map here. So in this one, I am going to go into, there we go. Let's just choose Abandoned Factory. Do a little freestyle. And let me land. All right, so I reset it. So first thing you want to do when you're first starting off is you just simply want to hover. That's it. All you want to do is hover in place as good as you can. So you just increase, and if you look down at the center of the screen, bottom center, you can see my sticks are moving. You just want to try and keep this thing as steady as possible with not moving around that much. And I'm probably moving more than I probably should, but it's good enough for this. And then you just simply want to ease down and land. That's it. And you want to do that a whole bunch of times just to kind of get a feel for that. And that just kind of gives you that little bit of muscle memory for your throttle. And for how to control it a little bit more. So then you just want to get in there and you want to fly. Now, I am not a good pilot at all. I'm still very, very new to all of this. I'm actually really bad. There's guys that get into this and they're just whipping around like insane. And I don't know how they can do it. Life goals. Definitely life goals. But the nice thing about Liftoff is the graphics are good enough. I think they're good enough. And it runs nice and smooth. The physics are done very well. They're accurate enough for you to get a feel for how to control a quad. And the best part of it is it's smaller, it's quick to load, and if you do happen to crash, it just kind of rights itself like almost immediately. Done. And then you just fly. There's no kind of rolling around and flopping around and doing all this crazy stuff and then it resets you back at the beginning of the map. No. And you'll see that in the next one, in Liftoff. It kind of does that a little bit, which is kind of annoying. Velocidrone was kind of annoying, and I don't have Velocidrone on here right now to show you. But Velocidrone is a good one. It's dated, but it is still a very good simulator to fly. Now, one thing I would say is start with acro. Just start with acro and go with it, and just learn it from the get-go. From the start, you're gonna get better control. You're gonna learn a lot more, a lot faster that way. Horizon and angle is okay, but honestly, just go straight for the acro, because that's really where you're gonna want to fly 99% of the time. And I can sit here and I can do this all day just for having fun. And just learning the map and learning the control and getting better. And that's what it's all about. Now to reset, you just hit I have my switch number labeled C, so SWC, as my reset. And that's generally what I use as my arm and disarm. Now there is no map creation or anything like that in this, like there is with Liftoff, where you can build your own maps. They don't have Bardwell's house, which is pretty fun, and I'll show you that here in the next few minutes. But yeah, that's it. That's it with Orqa. If you have a PC, laptop, it doesn't take a whole lot to play this game, and you're still going to get everything that you need to help you with flying quads. Here we are in Liftoff. Now, Liftoff is a very popular one. For instance, if you're a Bardwell fan, they actually have Joshua Bardwell's yard in this one, which is actually pretty cool to fly around in. And they did a really good job with it. The physics are pretty good. The customization is really good. You can choose different quads. And as you see, I've played a little bit longer in this one than I have in the Orqa FPV Skydive. So let's hop on into this one. Yep, let's go. Now, if you don't already know, this is made by Rotor Riot, and it's available on Steam. And it takes a little longer. It's a little more graphic intense, which is nice. I don't mind that. Again, in this one, you use your controller, or I should say your radio. I keep calling it a controller, but yeah. So anyway, you can come in here and you have a lot of options in here that you can change around. It's very, very customizable, which is a very good thing. Like, you can change your resolution, you can change everything on this. And again, all I'm running on is a Mac Mini M1 with 8 gigs of memory. That's it. It's a fantastic little computer. If you want something that for a good price that is good for video editing, photo editing, and mild gaming, it's a great little computer. Anyway, moving on. These are all just... So you even have an option to use the buttons, but don't use that. Just don't. I already have my controller connected. But we're going to go through and we're going to do this again. There we go. Jumper T-Lite joystick. And as you see, everything is already set up pretty well. And got this little guy over here. Whee! And then you can go in, you can do the calibrate. And the calibrate is just working the same way as everything else. So if you click on calibrate, we can start the calibration. And it's asking me to do this. Rotate all the sticks. There we go. Let's see. It wants me to center the sticks. Sticks are centered right there. So I'm going to click that. There we go. Now they're nice and centered. Throttle up. There we go. Center all my sticks. Good and centered. All right, there we go. Centering the sticks. This takes a little bit longer than some of the other ones, but it does a really, really good job with it. And now you're finished. You can go and you can fine tune it a little bit more if you need to. So you can go into fine tune and you can change a lot of the controls here, which is a nice thing. If it doesn't seem to want to work right for you, you can always just change it up. But I've never really came up with a reason to need to do that. All right, so we're going to exit out of there, go back to the main menu, and let's see. Oh, yeah, by the way, you can also do multiplayer on this, which I haven't done yet, but it's probably pretty fun. So let's go into... Let's just do a free flight. Actually, you know what? Let's do a little bit more. So you can go into a drone editor. There's gift boxes that you can get through the game. You can actually build your own track, which is pretty cool. Again, I haven't played with that yet. You have replay. Replay is you can actually replay some of your flying, which is actually a pretty slick option. Let's see. We got controls over here. This, audio. So we go into free flight, freestyle. Just do a free flight. And we can come in here and we can select a track. what track do I want? And there's a lot of them. There's just a ton of tracks that they have on here. And look, there's one I was talking about, Bardwell's Yard. So anyway, I'm going to go to Bando City just for fun. I'm not going to skip the drone selection because I want to show you that. No track. But you can choose up different type of tracks if you want to do like racing and whatnot. So in here you can choose a lot of different options on quads. What is this? This is the Rotor Riot CL1. I'm just going to jump on this one here. But there are lots of them. They've done a pretty good job with adding these quads in here. Now, if I had a more powerful PC or a more powerful Mac, this would load a lot quicker. Now, also, I'm also doing a screen recording, so that takes a little bit of the performance off. Not much, but a little bit. For me, it's fine. I'm patient. I can wait a minute or two. So here we go. And right off the bat, I hit something. There we go. So this is Bando City. And the physics on this is really, really good. And right now it's just a little... I'm getting some FPS drop just because I'm recording my screen. Alright, let me straighten out here instead of screwing around. But these maps are generally bigger than like the Orqa maps. Orqa has a little bit smaller of a map. It's faster loading. Physics are still just as good. But it doesn't look quite as realistic. I don't know. I think the realism to Liftoff is much better. And it's kind of neat. It's a little more eye candy, I would suppose. So I'm going to try and fly under here. I'm probably going to crash. Nope. That's impressive. Let's see if I can fly through one of these. Oh, I made it. I made it. But yeah, I mean, you can come in here and you can fly a Bando if that's what you want to do, or you can just kind of cruise around and go for more of a cinematic style flying instead of going all crazy and Bando-y. And not crash. Now, one thing, like with the other game, if you do crash, you just lay off the throttle, wait for it to land, and just, you know, I don't know. To me, it's kind of annoying because there we go. You got to kind of get yourself out of it. I'd rather just stop, flip me over, and kind of reset. I don't know. That gets a little annoying. Actually, before I go any further, I do want to go in and do a free flight here on Bardwell's, just to show you if anybody who follows him at all. I'm sure everybody follows him, but regardless. So here we are, and here we go. And doesn't this look familiar? Oh. but it's pretty fun. This is a smaller size map, but it's got meaning to it. Now, honestly, I think there should be, I think they should have Bardwell out here on his lawnmower with his goggles on his head, but that's just me personally. A lot of these effects that are on here, for instance, I have some like motion blur and stuff like that for realism. I could turn that off and get a little bit better performance out of it, but regardless, it's not that big of a deal. If you notice, sometimes you got like these little pumpkins and stuff like that. They add these little things into the game. You got to collect them, and you collect a bunch of them, and I think you get little rewards for it. There we go. So I found 1 out of 10 pumpkins on this map. Looks like there's a bunch down there on his tables, or in his pumpkin patch there. And that is Rotor Riot's Liftoff. Alright, so that is the end of this video. So, my conclusion, my personal preference would be, I like Liftoff. I really, really like Liftoff just because there's more versatility to it. There's more that you can do with it. However, Liftoff is not free. Now, I think I made a mistake, and early on in this video, I did say that they're free, and I was incorrect. Liftoff is not free. It is a purchased game or simulator off of Steam. I think right now it's like $18 off of Steam. So it's not very expensive. And however, the Orqa one is free. At least when I got it, it was free. It should be free now. I believe when I checked, it was free. So now I'm second guessing myself. Anyway, so money aside, what I'm going to say is that both of them have their positives and their negatives. And I'm going to start with Liftoff. Liftoff, the positive with that is it's more, there's more detail to it. There's more things that you can get into. You can build your own maps. You can change up multiple different types of quads, and I think you can even add quads to it. Then there's DLCs that you can put in there for different things. Like I think they have a Tiny Whoop one where it's all just Tiny Whoops, and it runs off Tiny Whoop physics. And then there is, you know, more that you can do with the tuning. And however, it is more graphic intense, so it takes a little longer to load. It's a little, you know, just all this stuff, bigger maps, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if you are limited with processing power, then, you know, it might not be a very good thing. Orqa's is, I like it because it's quick, it's fast, so that's a positive. You get right into it. Just like that. Calibrating is super simple. You don't have to go through and choose all different quads. You can edit the way that it flies. You can change up your sticks a little bit. There is no map editor or anything like that. There's no DLCs I know of for it. The maps are small and quick. The graphics aren't quite as good, but the physics are still good. I would say the physics are pretty similar in both of these simulators. And that's really, to be honest with you, that's really the most important part, is that the physics are there. And so, you know, it's up in the air. I guess it depends on the mood that I'm in, what I want. Do I want more detail, more graphic? Do I want to get in and fly around different maps? Then I would say Liftoff is better. If I just want to get in and I want to fly and I want to practice and do it quick, then Orqa's is there. So there you go. There you have it. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.